Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright Spirit of Justice. Well, last episode we changed everything about the case using Rayfa's insights, the location, the time of death, what day it was on, and now the murder weapon. As we say, the Warbad statue was actually used to kill Puhray Zeh'lot way before he was praying on the Devotion Plaza. So, with that said, I did, of course, mistakenly manage to misclick last episode, and I checked the footage, and I definitely put it on the beak. But of course, it's not going to be the beak when you think about it. After all, he was being crushed by that large, mossy stone slab. It's definitely going to be what's underneath, what's more covered in blood. Why did I even click there? To get that penalty anyway? I don't know. But let's continue on with the case. The Warbad statue? Exactly. The Warbad statue has dagger-like feathers protruding from it. That is what really took the victim's life. Of course it wouldn't be the beak from that angle, no sir. You imbecilic fool! The statue was outside the hideout. How do you propose it impaled someone who was inside? Haven't you heard? The Warbad statue also functions as the hideout's door. What do you mean? What, you haven't heard about this? How? The police were there. The statue can pull a complete switcheroo. A switch-a-loo? To put it simply, it's a revolving door. A revolving door? Why, that makes perfect sense. Therefore, I believe the truth behind the divination seance to be this. As the victim entered the secret hideout, the stone sculpture came toppling toward him. He threw up his hands to stop it, but its weight forced him backwards. Unfortunately, the Warbad statue was right behind him. This cannot be! But the accused's fingerprints were found on the dagger. She had held it while rehearsing for the rite, which is when her prints got on it. Gah! Oh, that's the obvious thing, mind you. This is a shocking turn of events, but there is a great deal of circumstantial evidence in the defense's favour. I believe we must accept that the Warbad statue was what killed the victim. The Warbad statue has been added to the court record and shows that it took his life. Now that we know how Acolyte Zeh'lot really met his demise, there's no basis for claiming my client committed this crime. Nice work, Nick! How can this be happening yet again? The divination seance is the only truth. No, your benevolence. It's not the truth itself, but it is a means for shedding light on the truth. Do you understand now? Your kingdom needs lawyers so they can interpret your insights. But that means I have been misinterpreting the voices of the spirits all this time?
Your benevolence, are you unwell? All the colour is drained from your face.
She's just realized the weight of what that means. I will be fine. Continue your proceedings without me.
As you wish.
Almost feel sorry for her. I feel kind of bad for her.
Now then, I would have the defense continue. Please explain what you have learned now that we know how the victim actually died.
Acolyte Zeh'lot was killed in the hideout before the High Priest's murder. That means the body found at the Plaza Devotion was moved there by the real killer. But only after the Warbad dagger was thrust into him, to make it look like the murder weapon.
That does seem to agree with what we now know. But why would the real killer go to such lengths?
I believe stabbing Acolyte Zeh'lot's body with the dagger and moving it to the plaza was a warning from the Twilight Realm? Pfft. A crime committed for fun? Pfft. Premeditated? To make it look like a serial murder. It was an attempt to make my client look like a serial killer. That's right, the real killer planned all of this. This forged serial murder case.
They did?
That's it, Nick. Keep hammering away.
もさましで足し抜けたれがせよそろか
Your reasoning has more holes in it than that cheese you foreigners so enjoy. What? Like those putrid hole-riddled clumps of curds that only a rat like you could love. Your reasoning, much like your putrid hole-riddled brain, has putrefied. What's his deal with things go putrid? You have yet to overturn my argument that the accused is the killer. A careful analysis of the chain of events up to the killing exposes the truth as follows. Disguised as Lady Kee'ra, the accused found the rebel hideout the day before the rite. But Acolyte Zeh'lot had followed her there after noticing her suspicious behavior. Caught by surprise, she pushed the stone slab toward him, and we know the rest. I've never been to the rebel hideout in my life! When the high priest arrived at the sanctum the next day, he realized what she had done. That is when the accused murdered him in order to silence him.
I believe prosecutors had Maddie has posed a compelling scenario. The defense, on the other hand, has yet to disprove the accused's guilt.
Objection!
Why would my client move Acolyte Zeh'lot's body to where everyone could see it? And why would she stab the dagger with her fingerprints into his dead body? There's a really good cliffside there, I've got to say. She had no reason to do any of those things. The dagger in his corpse was likely a warning to the rebels. Something along the lines of Lady Kee'ra was slated to find dragons.
That is why she moved the body to the plaza for all to see.
Now he has the judge convinced too? I thought I'd finally made some headway.
Well, Mr. Wright, about time for one of your groans of distress, is it not?
Groan of distress? It kills me to admit this, but I've got nothing to counter his argument with. And I still haven't disproven the allegations against Maya.
It is not time to end your futile struggle. You were already judged guilty yesterday. That makes you a dead lawyer walking. Accept the death that now awaits you, and in doing so, finally, no peace.
A dead lawyer walking, indeed. Then again, are not all lawyers who practice in Khura'in? But I must admit I misspoke earlier. Allow me to amend my statement. I said the defense's reasoning had a putrid cheese-like smell. But I now realize the stench was from his own putrid body, on the verge of death. Now I'm a rotting zombie! Think, who could have killed Zeh'lot the day before the rite? Who knew about the rebel hideout and could gain access to the inner sanctum? Only those involved with the rite can enter the sanctum, so... Wait a second. Only a rebel would have known about the secret hideout. And the only person who was involved with the rite had access to the sanctum. And was suspected of being a rebel is... Ha! Did somebody come to mind? Yes, except there's one huge problem. A huge problem? What are you two going on about? Plotting your escape from this sacred hall? I would not put it past you, considering you have no means to raise further objection. If I don't do something, Prosecutor Samadi will have this one in the bag. I'll just have to bluff my way out of this, regardless of that huge problem. Your Majesty, I believe there is another suspect in Puhray Zeh'lot's murder.
Objection!
Even the most benevolent Holy Mother would not forgive such a desperate lie. After all, you know very well that such a person does not exist. No, there is one person who knew everything.
Does such a figure truly exist? Tells who? Who might that be?
I believe the prime suspect in Acolyte Zeh'lot's murder is... Well, when you look at it, the one with access, or the one that's a rebel.
Take that!
It had to be someone allowed to enter the sanctum, and who knew the hideout. And that would be the High Priest. He could have committed the crime if it occurred the day before the rite. You would pin a crime upon the dead, knowing very well they tell no tales. They tell lots of tales! We know that! Have you no shame? Dead men tell no tales. That's definitely a problem. If only the High Priest could tell his side of the story. What? Do I have something on my face? Wait a second. Could this actually work? Oh no, don't tell me I have some of my breakfast cup between my teeth. No, if there's even the slightest possibility, I'll have to go with it. Your Majesty, dead men do tell tales. Therefore, I would like to request the High Priest's testimony.
His testimony? And just how do you propose we get the deceased to testify?
There's a way for the dead to testify. It's known as channeling. Summon him here by means of spirit channeling.
What did you just say?
Spirit channeling? Has this lawyer finally gone insane? This is sacrilege. May the Holy Mother strike him down.
Peace! I am frankly astonished you even know of such a thing. But spirit channeling is a secret art that only Her Eminence Queen Khura'in can perform. And Her Eminence is far too busy with other duty to perform it at our pleasure.
I suspected as much. That means our only hope is the person who doesn't want to. It's okay, Nick. You can tell them. But Maya, I thought you wanted to keep it a secret here in Khura'in. Don't worry. It's not like it's against the law or violates some religious precepts, so I don't think we'll be punished. At least, I hope not. This is a crucial period for you to decide whether you become master of Khura'in. We don't have any other choice now, do we? If I'm found guilty, it'll be a lot worse than not becoming a master of Khura'in. Alright. Thanks, Maya. Actually, there is someone here who is capable of channeling spirits. But even Her Benevolence, Princess Rayfa, finds the divination seance to be a challenge. Who could possibly have greater spiritual power than she aside from the Queen? That would be me. Is this some sort of a joke? A foreigner cannot possibly have such power. Even the royal priestess is incapable of such a feat.
Peace! Peace, I say! Is this true? Is the accused capable of performing the secret art of spirit channeling?
Well, yes. Yes, I can. Now, Your Majesty, we'd like your permission to begin. Why would you stop me? I guess you don't want to be upstaged, yeah? Your Benevolence. This is an outrage! An outrage, I say! First you make a mockery of the divination seance, and now spirit channeling? Her Benevolence speaks the truth! Spirit channeling is a sacred rite! Foreign devils!
I say they should be put to death immediately!
Still your voices. Barbed head, spirit channeling is a most sacred and secret of arts. Are you prepared to face the consequences of what you propose? Yes, I am.
Your Benevolence, are you saying you approve of their use of spirit channeling?
I will judge whether their claim is true. If this is but another of their lies, they shall be executed on the spot.
Very well then. Your Benevolence, what if the accused accidentally calls forth an evil spirit?
Do you truly believe this foreigner is capable of channeling spirits?
Oh, no. But I want to be sure, as I am responsible for the safety of all present.
Well, an inexperienced practitioner could inadvertently call forth a dangerous spirit. But do not fear, for I have a Magatama of parting. With it, I can send spirits back to the Twilight Realm by halting the flow of spiritual power.
That is a relief indeed.
These foreigners have thrown down the gauntlet. Let us not shirk from their challenge. We must prove them guilty and deliver their last rites. Do I make myself clear, Prosecutor Sadmadi? Perfectly, Your Benevolence.
Very well. The accused may channel the High Priest's spirit. But first, we must take a short recess to prepare. We will resume as soon as the preparations are complete. Until then, this court is adjourned.
Well, don't mind me. It gives me a chance to have another sip of my lovely tea that's waiting here. To be continued, it is indeed. It'll ask me to save. Well, you know we're not gonna. Let's move on to the second part of the second part of the second part of the trial. shall we? Ah, beautiful tea. May 12th, the High Court of Khura'in. The accused lobby. Sorry, Maya, but this was the only way. You sure you're up here for this? Oh, you're up for this. You're definitely up here for this, that's for sure. Thanks for believing me, Nick. Even though I don't know if my channeling ability is on point yet. Oh, right. Before she started training here, her success rate was only about 30%. I know you can do it, Maya. At least I hope she can. So you sure you're ready? Yeah, at least I think so. You don't sound so confident. What about all your training? Training's one thing, actually doing it is another. Oh, I see. Uh-oh. If she fails to channel the High Priest, we're as good as dead. Relax, Nick. You can count on me. I'll show you what my training's done for me. This will be a moment you never forget. Okay. I just hope it's unforgettable in a good way. Once we hear Abbot and me's story, I'm sure the truth will come to light. I hope so. But he was hiding the fact that he was a rebel, so I doubt it'd be as cut as dried as all that. They're ready for you. Please return to the Hall of Justice at once. Okay, Maya, I'm counting on you. You got it! Here we go! It's time to believe. I wonder if they've got a cool animation for spirit channeling now that they have for the divination seance.
We have received official approval for the accused to channel a spirit here today. Now, if you will, Miss Faye, please proceed.
Yes, your majesty. I can't believe this! Only the Queen should channel spirits! Execute them! Put them to death right now! Come on, Maya. I'm counting on you. Nice of them to pause in between the sets of deaths. I've been studying here in Khura'in for 2 years now, so that one day I will be the master of Khura'in, a village of spirit mediums back home. But first I shall show you all the fruits of my training in your kingdom. Wow, she seems really confident. A neophyte practitioner such as you could not possibly channel a spirit. Okay, your benevolence. How about this? If I succeed, will you stop calling me a neophyte? Very well. If you succeed. Oh, I will. Just you watch. O spirit of trust in me, slumbering in the twilight realm, return now to the world of the living.
What is this place? Oh my!
No! This cannot be! Polkunga! It's the High Priest! The accused really can channel spirits! I don't believe it! The accused's spiritual power is the real deal!
Go Maya!
I do not understand! This cannot be! This simply cannot be! I must step out now before I forget myself.
Abbot in me!
Would this be the Twilight Realm? And what of this luxurious mane of hair? You like it, do you? Is it perhaps a gift from the Holy Mother for decades of faithful service?
Abbot in me!
My, but if it isn't his majesty, have you too shoved off that mortal coil?
Please do not count me among the dead. It is only you who has passed on. But the spirit medium Maya Fey has brought you back among us today.
Why? Acolyte Faye has mastered the secret art of spirit channeling. I suppose that explains these gorgeous locks.
When I pass from this world, I too hope to be channeled with a full head of hair. Is that the judge saying it, or is it me?
Though it be for the briefest of moments, I give thanks for the splendid coiffure. Yeah, I would. It's just like, oh yeah, because I'm with it. Praise be to the Holy Mother! However, this kimono is a bit too snug for my tastes. If you would excuse me. I see a problem with this. What about when you go back to normal again? I see big problems with this. There. That is better. Could we get to his testimony now? And I wish he'd kept his top on. Why, you are that foreign lawyer that people speak of as of late. And is this not the Hall of Justice? Why have I been summoned here?
I give it for calling you back from your eternal rest. As you have been accused of murder, might we ask you to testify on your own behalf?
I have been accused of murder. That is troubling indeed. Ah! What's with that crazy pose? Is this really cause for such astonishment? Even the lowliest amongst can achieve such body control with the proper training. Oh. I wonder if Albie will be able to do that someday.
Will the defense please explain the situation to the High Priest?
I'd be happy to. Your disciple, Puhray Zeh'lot, has been murdered. It happened on the day before the purification rite. And the crime occurred in the rebel hideout hidden within the inner sanctum. Acolyte Zeh'lot! He's been killed! Who would do such a thing? Someone who knew of the hideout and had access to the inner sanctum. In other words, you, Abbot in me. After all, weren't you secretly a rebel? This is just creepy to look at. Oh dear. That's still Maya's body. I hope he doesn't break anything. Wow, the High Priest is amazing! I think he had mastered such an advanced prayer pose. He's still worthy of our veneration even if he is a rebel. Praise be to the Holy Mother! Praise be to the Holy Mother! Oh my, have my rebel allegiances been exposed? Not even my wife knew of that. It seems to rest in peace is not my fate. Why did you, a devout priest of Khura'ism, join the rebellion?
Objection!
The High Priest has come back to us for but a brief time, defense. Shall we not cut to the chase and ask the most pressing of questions? Oh, right. Abbot in me, the prosecution believes the one who slew both you and Acolyte Zeh'lot to be Maya Fey, who had been playing the role of Lady Kee'ra in the rite. Being that I was dead until just a moment ago, my memory is a bit hazy. Could you please do your best to remember?
Objection!
The High Priest says his memory is hazy. It is all coming back to me. It is as prosecutor Sadmani concluded. I was slain by none other than Maya Fey. The High Priest's statement has proven my assertions with regards to his murder correct. No! But what about Acolyte Zeh'lot? You were the one who killed him, weren't you? I know naught about my disciple's murder. Furthermore, I have an alibi of my own. An alibi? Seriously?
It seems the testimony the defense has been hoping for is working against him. And now, Abbot in me, your testimony if you please.
Yes. Yes, of course. That's a witness testimony from beyond the grave. It's been a while. I have an alibi, he says. I have an ironclad alibi for the time during which the murder took place. Just past noon on the day before the rite, I was entertaining guests at my home. Don't do that! And I believe my guests can corroborate this. Wait, your guests are Maya and the dead guy. You had guests? Just past noon. That's right about the time Zeh'lot was murdered. Are you sure about that? Or maybe not then. Absolutely. Kind of think of it, Rayfa told me about a spirit's memory. A spirit's memory is cut off at the moment of death. So even a spirit that is brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time. Between the moment of its death and the moment it is channeled? Yes, and yet it clearly recalls all of the memories it had in life. Aha. The High Priest seems to know exactly what he's talking about. So the question is, what would be the best angle of attack? It's more the fact that the memories only just came back. Supposed to clearly remember, but oh, I don't really remember until the prosecution gives me a line. I have an ironclad alibi for the time during which the murder took place. I don't know what we're going for here.
Hold it!
3 statements. Let's just press. Use the word alibi as if it was second nature. Are you perhaps mocking me? Or is it perhaps the kingdom of Khura'in itself you wish to ridicule? Come on! Everyone and their grandma knows what alibi means. We're not a bunch of country bumpkins here. We have plenty of courtroom dramas on TV.
Peace, peace, peace I say. Mr. Wright, would you care to clarify your last statement?
Please, don't take it the wrong way. It's just alibi is a rather technical term for a priest to use so naturally. I assure you I know how to use the term. In fact, I had even hoped for a chance to do so one day. I suppose that even I, a high priest, am not immune to such trivial worldly attachments. I see. Still, he seems unusually calm and composed. It's almost as if he had prepped himself for something like this. Just past noon on the day before the rite, I was entertaining guests of my own. Tell me more.
Hold it!
Yes? And you entertained them personally? That I was. We gathered around the table for a most enjoyable conversation. He said his guests could corroborate his alibi. That can't be good for our case. Are you sure that was the same day as the murder? Maybe you've misremembered. Ka! Do not doubt my mnemonic faculties. That's the one, isn't it? It seems like I need to shoot that thing in the middle for a power-up at this point. I may have died, but my memories up to that point are crystal clear. Just pause, like looking at the animation going, Sorry, he's pretty thin-skinned for a priest. Though I guess I should have known better than to doubt his memory. A spirit's memory is cut off at the moment of death. So even a spirit that is brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time. Between the moment of its death and the moment it is channeled. Yes, and yet it clearly recalls all of the memories it had in life. There's nothing better than enjoying Gingil cuisine with dear friends. That way, everyone's breath becomes equally melodious. Right. And I believe my guests can corroborate this. Who are your guests? And who exactly were your guests that day? Don't tell me they were rebels, so they can't be called here to testify. It was none other than His Majesty along with his family. He couldn't attend the rite due to work, so he stopped by ahead of time. My, how his daughter has grown. Wait a second.
Let me set the record straight right now. I am not a rebel. Thank you for that wonderful meal, Abbot and me. Lady Miss cooking simply cannot repeat.
So there you have it. When exactly was His Majesty at your home? He was there from 2 PM to 3 PM. Indeed, precisely the time period within which Acolyte Zeh'lot was slain. How do you know that?
Yes, and we had a rousing chat concerning the game of Catch-U-Demal.
But...
I'll have that added to the testimony. After all, it was I who visited the High Priest's home.
Okay, my guests that day were His Majesty and his family. They visited from 2 PM to 3 PM.
Hold it!
I'm just wondering if we'll bring up the fact that how does he know it was slain at that point? Your Majesty, are you sure this testimony is completely accurate?
As sure can be. Oh, how wonderful it is to finally have my actions be admissible as evidence in court.
His Majesty was my home during the exact time period of the murder. Come, let us put this behind us. I could not have possibly committed this crime. How can you be so sure? What if the clock or watch you were using was off, or you misread the time?
There was a clock right near the table, and it had the exact same time as my watch.
Now do you understand, lawyer? As you can see, my alibi is airtight. Is it now? But we've pressed every statement. It seems to have moved us on, so something you're about to say will hopefully give us an opening. Let's pray for that. But for now, we end another episode of Phoenix Wright Spirit of Justice, with Maya having revealed that she is a spirit channeler of obviously equal power to the Queen or better. Able to call in a spirit at will, and calling in trust in me. I'm still worried about that top being off. Whenever a transformation back may occur. I'll see you next time for more Phoenix Wright. Bye-bye.